Hey everybody, this is Lena, and I have not done a video by myself in, I don't know, quite some time. But I think the last time I did a video I was talking about like being off of hormones for I think it was September, I believe. But lots has happened since then, obviously. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update on what's been going on, how I've been feeling, life in general. Mark did one just the other day and talked about how he's been off of hormones since July, and I've also been off of hormones since July of last year as well. And we just been, living life, adjusting, healing, eating better. We went through, what we went through with the keto diet and everything back, in January. And it was all because of, just some of the things that have been happening from like December after the fast that we went on. And it was just kind of like, didn't really know what to do, so we were just kind of worried about, I was breaking out with like scratches or like blisters and stuff right up in my chest and on a tummy area and stuff, and then eventually it ended up showing up on my back, and it was like it was just really itchy. And I come to find out that I'm more like susceptible to skin rashes and issues like that when I emotionally suffer, and like, I don't know, something in my immune system is connected emotionally to skin issues and things like that. So I remember back in, I think it was April of 2016, when we were living in Fort Lauderdale, where I was like totally like not like feeling good at all, because what I thought was getting ringworm from a hairdresser turned out to be really kind of an emotional kind of outbreak in the physical sense of what was happening to my body. So I kind of been able to put two and two together in the last 2 years or so, and trying to figure out exactly what's been going on with me. And I've come to understand that basically that is what was happening. Like when I get so emotionally attached to, like say in the past, my children that I would miss and stuff like that, and feeling guilty about certain things, or hearing about what was going on with my kids and stuff, would just kind of make me feel bad. So then physically the manifestation would be probably usually through my skin. So I came to understand that I don't need to wrestle with that anymore, because I'm growing as a person, as a spirit person inside of this physical body that I've been given. I'm growing, so I'm learning, adjusting, and I'm changing. So we've been learning a lot of things in the past, since September and stuff like that. And one of the things is how important it is to eat a whole food, plant-based diet. We thought that, some of the issues that I was dealing with were as a result of having too many carbs, but the truth is that you can never blame carbs for, issues and things. It's usually other stuff, like things that aren't natural to the body. And we were on this quest during that fast back in the winter to just clean up and purge ourselves and things. And what ended up happening was I found out, I'm like right in the middle of my fast, I found out that four of my boys, or I believe, was it? Yeah, the four boys, that they were involved in a car accident. And that really concerned me, because obviously I still love my kids, although I haven't seen some of them since 2014. But, it was like, wow, they could have all been gone in like that, And the truth is that that was something that affected me physically. So when it started, I couldn't put two and two together, but then later realized, wow, we made the mistake of going into this keto diet and basically eating high fat, lots of meat, and like just kind of forsaking all of our fruit and stuff like that. But it was like a waste, because that wasn't the problem. The problem was up here in the brain, that emotional connection that I had, and it was affecting me physically. So we ended up doing a Candida Cleanse, and that basically cleaned out my body. It kept on breaking out, and we started drinking a lot of, we would drink milk every day, even if it was raw milk. We thought, oh, that's, nature's finest, raw milk. And it wasn't at all. And, that kind of food shouldn't be in your body. Dairy is not good for you. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I hate to tell you that eating cheese or pepperoni pizza is not good for you, but it's not, And even the veggie cheeses and things like that are all made with these different oils and, things like that you really have to watch out for. And these days, even the stuff that we buy at the co-op that we think is like, oh, it's so good for you. Like recently we just found out that, this type of little corn cracker thing that we wafer, that we use for our desserts and stuff, we're like, it's made out of palm oil or something, has a palm oil ingredient. So there's always something, and if it's not coming out of the ground, if it's not coming from, a natural place, then it's probably not supposed to be in your body, And dairy is one of those things that I found out that I really have a very, very, bad vibe with. I think 75% of the people on Earth can't process dairy, and that's something that people don't realize, is that there's so much lactose intolerant people. Latin Americans, I think 70% of us, we can't tolerate processed dairy. Asians, I think it's like 90 or something, and Native Americans, I think it's like 95. So I'm kind of in between, because I'm part Native, part Spaniard, part, whatever, and I can't really, I start runny nose syndrome and stuff, and ever since we've stopped, of course, the nose thing has stopped too. So the connection is that you can't change up something that basically the diet that your native ancestors ate. That's usually the diet that you want to be eating, is the diet that 100 years ago maybe your ancestors had. And of course there's adjustment in that, because if they ate pork all the time and bacon, which we were at one point this year touting as being good for you, and it's not, then you have to make adjustments. But my native people, they ate a lot of grains and yucca and different types of what is it, like plants that, roots and things like that, and fruit, and I'm sure they had occasional seafood, but I really have gotten to have a real disdain for eating meat. I had lots of meat during the keto diet. We went for my birthday, and I had a big steak and everything. It was super good. I mean, as far as that goes, but realizing that eating meat, it just dries you out, and it doesn't help you at all. It doesn't heal you at all. So we've been on this quest to, get back to eating naturally, eating whole foods, and we stopped the keto diet, obviously, back. We had to. Mark just got really sick of eating. He just lost his appetite. Just didn't want to eat anymore. And literally, in the middle of eating dinner, he would be like, "Oh, my stomach can't handle this kind of eating," and he literally didn't want to eat anything. And it really all kind of came to a head back during Super Bowl Sunday when we had some summer sausage or something like that. And he was just grossed out by it, and he couldn't finish. And that week right before, on a Friday or Thursday before the Super Bowl, he was like, I had to eat his salad and his pork because he didn't want to eat anything, so it's one of those things. Now that we're back to eating whole food, plant-based, and we're cooking and making oatmeal in the morning, which he makes this awesome oatmeal. It's got protein powder in it. We just discovered carob powder, which is awesome. We drink coffee once a day. We also we use apple cider vinegar and lemon every morning before we work out. We work out on an empty stomach, and we really are big fans of IF, which is intermittent fasting. So we don't eat anything after maybe 8:30, 9 o'clock until after we come back from the workout. And I'm telling you, I really enjoy having oatmeal. I mean, it's become my favorite meal of the day. And oatmeal is really, really inexpensive. It doesn't cost a lot. It's not, it's not going to set you back much. But oatmeal with protein powder, and we found this really good protein powder that's plant-based. And that's where it does end up costing something, is that you have to spend a little extra to get better kind of protein powder, because the stuff that you would buy at, say, Walmart or even GNC, if you're buying whey protein, animal-based stuff, I mean, it's genetically modified. A lot of times it has dairy in it. It has animal products in it and stuff like that. So, but being able to eat a lot cleaner has really, we've gone back to doing urine therapy, and we're back to just eating pretty raw vegetables, and we go to the co-op now to get the organic foods and things like that. And it costs more for getting that kind of stuff, but not really, because when we were going to Walmart, it was still costing, it actually costs more to go to Walmart every week for our groceries. And they have this little section they call an organic section, but come on, it's Walmart. You know that they're going to cut corners and stuff. They don't really, it's not like a health food store or your local co-op that actually works with dairy, with farmers, and not dairy, but with farmers locally, and they get the organic stuff, and they care, they want to get good stuff. So we've gone back to getting everything from the co-op, just about. We were getting protein powder from Walmart, so we've kind of mail ordered that out to Amazon, and also we were getting this peanut powder. it's called like PB Fit, and it's good, but it's not the real peanut butter. It's a processed item, but we were getting it because it had low fat, and when we were on keto, it didn't really matter. But now that we're we don't want to have a lot of fat in our diet, because it just really kind of throws a wrench in everything you do. We were eating lots of avocados during the keto diet, and now we've kind of let up on that too, because avocados have lots of fat, and even if it's good fat, it's still fat. So our calories are coming from pretty much from the from the carbs, from the foods that we're eating, like the grains and stuff. Especially, they're really, really nutrient and really good for you and stuff, and they fill you up. It's really, really cool. And we've just been enjoying making dinner again and enjoying the creations and stuff that we've made. And it was just getting really boring. Meat, there's only so much you can do with meat until it gets to be repetitious. And then eggs and bacon and making omelets and adding oil and all that, it was just getting old. But now, oatmeal tastes so good. I don't know. I'm a big fan of oatmeal. Big fan of protein powder. Big fan of carrot powder. Big fan of coffee. I can't imagine that I would, in my 48 years of life, that I would actually like coffee. I used to say that, I was still a kid, that I didn't like coffee because I wasn't grown up enough or something. But now I can't wait for the morning after we come back from the workout. And when I say that we're working out, we're not just going to the gym and mailing it in, and I'm not just lifting little puny pink weights and stuff or whatever, and Mark isn't just doing whatever, like things that are just enough to be in shape. We're actually pushing ourselves. We're actually pushing our bodies to the limit to get to the place where we want to get to. And that's the thing that, for me as a trans woman, I don't, I was having this fear of like bulking up and getting big biceps and muscles and things like that. And, I'm over that fear. I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. My body will take me wherever it needs to take me. And I am just along for the ride, because I'm not the one that's in control. It's my body that's pretty much telling me what I need to do, because if I worry about what I'm supposed to be doing based on some, image of how I'm supposed to appear and stuff, it just really does a number to your brain, and worrying about the scale, worrying about where you are on the scale, how much fat you're losing, how many calories you're eating, how many carbs you're consuming, all the protein. We used to have this program on the phone that was like a macro calculator that would like tell us exactly how many calories we're supposed to eat. It's like, no, we just need to let our body take us where it needs to go. And, not fear the scale, because the scale's going to change. But as long as you're eating the foods that your body is wanting to eat and needs, it's going to be just fine. You don't have to worry about all the ins and outs and getting this and making sure you're eating that and, all this other stuff that you think is important. The important thing is to know that you and your body are one, and that you can feed it in ways that it actually like benefits from. We weren't benefiting from eating animal products. We weren't benefiting from having lots of fat, but it's like the moment we started going back to eating like these awesome whole food plant-based meals and stuff, it's like, I'm telling you, it really just changes you, and there's something to be said about the planet and the creatures that live on the planet. And, they have every right to exist just as you and I do. And we have no right to take away their life in exchange for our life, because they are sentient beings and they are a part of the energy that exists on planet Earth. And, we're not much different than they are. We're animals too. So, we deserve to live and they deserve to live as well. And no animal should have to give its life for another animal to survive. Because on this planet, we have been given so many wonderful foods that grow out of the ground and grow in trees and things like that, that it is really sad that anyone would take the life of another living creature in order to satisfy its hunger needs and stuff. And there's so much more that we have yet to understand about ourselves, in the fact that, food is something that we think that we have to have. Like, some of you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you've been told, and, just it's been pounded into you that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And it's really not. Break fast is what that is break fast. And break fast does not need to happen at 8 o'clock in the morning or at 7. It should happen probably after you've been active and, just doing your thing during the day. And just like us, we come back after we've earned our food, after we've worked and done the work to get, hungry and to get our body in a state where it needs to be fed, And, when we build muscle, when we tear muscle by going to the gym, we need to build it up. So these foods miraculously go in and they nourish our body and they give us what we need. And then we don't waste our energy snacking and eating and doing all kinds of things during the day. We let that work happen. We let the body do its thing. And then we refeed at dinner time. And then we don't eat. And let our body rest. And let our body absorb and take in the nutrients. And get some good sleep. And then do it all over again. And it's really that simple. Because, it's really important to understand that your body needs certain things. And it's a really simple concept, but a lot of people use food as entertainment. They use food as an emotional crutch. And that's where we go wrong. It's like, how many of you have probably, maybe you broke up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever, and you had to have your favorite snack, and then you notice over time that you put on a couple pounds, or you put on 10 pounds, say. And all because why? Because your body, you're connecting that emotion of loss and pain to something that, I can actually, kind of treat that pain by eating. And eating doesn't help, when it's done that late. Because at that time of the day, in the night, actually, that's when your body is trying to repair. And now you're putting foods in it that are making it work. And, the night is to rest, the night is to recover, the night is to heal, the night is to grow. Muscles grow at night. So when you're making it work, it can't do anything else. So then you stress it out. And then you wonder why, you're not getting the results that you want and stuff. It's because, habits are not allowing that to happen. But I'm learning a lot, as you can tell. I've learned a lot in the last, 3 or 4 years about fitness, nutrition, about eating right, about, letting go of emotional baggage, of letting go of guilt and frustration and trying to, basically allow yourself to heal and to grow and to nurture the things that you have in you, and that you would just appreciate yourself for who you are, not for who you want to be, not for who you feel that you can be, but for who you are right now at this moment in time, because that's all we have right now is right now, and it's better. We found out recently, we watched a movie, Star Wars, the latest Star Wars movie, The Last Jedi, and there was a part where, one of the characters in the movie actually was helping to save this other character who was basically gonna fight against the evil and basically try to martyr themselves for the sake of the rest of the team. And she knocked him out of the way so that he wouldn't destroy himself. And the big takeaway from that movie was this one quote that said, you don't really need to, fight against the things that you hate. You really need to focus on saving what you love. And that's how you're going to win the war, against other things that you feel that are against you. Is not by, taking up and using your sword and spear and shooting down the enemy, but by going and affecting change on the things that you love, So that's the important thing. That's the important thing as a trans woman, as trans men, that you would want to do, is to not hate your body for what you can't be, but save the very essence that you are, because that should be the thing that you love. The things that you hate aren't really worth fighting against. It's better to save the things that you love. And loving yourself is the most important gift that you can give yourself. And I know that a lot of you don't love your body. You don't love the way that you look. You don't love how, you haven't changed enough, or that you'll never look this certain way, or whatever. But, the battle is not against you. It's really, the focus should be on turning that fight inward to accept who you are for what you are right now, with the face that you have, with the eyes that you have, with the nose that you have, with the genitals that you have, with all the things that make you, you. And make peace with it. Learn to love it. Learn to love that part. Learn to love who you are as an individual, because there's no one else like you. I mean, a lot of times we want, as trans people, trans women, you want to, be that natal woman that you feel that you want to look like and stuff. And, genetics and things don't give us that opportunity sometimes. Secondary sex characteristics are what they are. But the beautiful thing about it is that as a hybrid, you're you. You're the person that you are, and no one else can be like you. Not even a natal woman can be like a trans woman. Not even a natal man can be like a trans man. And that's the beauty of it, is that we get to experience this beautiful duality, this beautiful, immersion of the two, and we're able to reflect that, and we're able to share that, and we're able to, partner with that. And we don't have to be just one thing. We can be a beautiful, beautiful, like this beautiful portrait, like this quilt work that is so unique and so special and so amazingly beautiful in its own way that people can't help but stare and to say, wow, that is an amazing human being. And that is something that I'm learning. And it's taken a while. It's taken some time. But that's where I'm at this point in my life. No hormones, none of that stuff. Mark and I have talked about it in the past, if you're young and you're wanting to get in, to doing hormones, especially a trans man or something, get in, get out, have the changes happen, and live your life, because the longer that you take these synthetic type hormones, and I'm not just talking about hormones, but any drug, any antibiotic, any statin drug, or anything like that, you never want to take it for long term. And I know that doctors say that trans women, trans men are going to live off of being on these synthetic hormones for the rest of their lives because they need them and their body needs them. Well, they don't really know what they're talking about. They only go by what is beneficial to the medical community. And the fact is that you can do this without the hormones. You can do this naturally. I use an herb called red clover blossom, and another one called fenugreek seed, another one called saw palmetto, which is a natural testosterone blocker. Mark is using a really cool herb. It's called suma root, and it's really given him the strength that he was lacking when he went off of tea and stuff. Of course, it's not an anabolic steroid, but it's still a very, very potent herb, and it works with your body, not against it. It amazes me how in the last 6, 7, 8 months now we've been able to adjust to life without the injections, adjust to life without having to worry about getting the injection every week and the stress of maybe losing the ability to see changes happen and all this stuff. I'm convinced that as we age, especially trans women, taking any kind of synthetic hormone is detrimental and actually does the opposite of what you would want it to do to you, which is it masculinizes you more than it will feminize you, because the body catches on to what's happening, and then the natural body reaction is to produce testosterone. And as trans women age, they are naturally going to produce less testosterone and more estrogen. And what is happening is that by taking the synthetic hormone called estrogen, estradiol, and it affects you in a way where it does the opposite. And it at the point in your life where you're regressing to a point of losing testosterone and having a lower testosterone in your levels in your body, now you're increasing it because the body is now taking that estradiol and converting it into T, which is what you obviously don't want, but we all need a little bit of T, because that is the hormone of vitality. That's the hormone, the health hormone. That's the one that keeps us healthy, keeps us youthful, helps us to, develop muscle. And, estrogen is the fat hormone. Estrogen is really beneficial when a pregnant woman is ovulating and is nursing a child and needs that extra fat in order to feed the child the breast milk and for the child to latch on, and all the different things that take place during that time of your life. if you're a woman, a natural natal woman. But after that, the body adjusts and changes, and menopause happens, and the body goes into a different stage of development, and it's all part of life. And as trans women, trying to get to a place where, a regular female would be is not beneficial at that point as you age, because you're not going to be nursing a child, and it's just not that important. The things that are important are to love yourself and to love others. So I guess I've rambled on enough. Mark's making a wonderful meal again. I don't know what he's doing this time, but he's got some tofu out, and I'm just happy to share the things that have been going on, and I hope that you guys are encouraged, and I hope that anything that I would have said may help you on your journey, and that you guys would just find that satisfaction in just being happy with what you have and with who you are right now. Not later, not after the surgery, not when you get this certain thing or that certain thing done, but right now. So, see you guys later. Bye.